Hi everyone, here's going to be the last video from me in this series. It'll be a quick video just talking about generic lists. Okay, so one problem with int lists and SL lists so far is that they can only have integers in them, right? It's because we've defined the int node to take in an int item. So if we ever wanted to have an SL list of strings, that's impossible, okay? Well, there must be some way of actually like remedying this, right? There must be some way of having an SL list that can take strings or that can take integers, right? So my idea here is what if upon creation of an SL list, we provide the type of object that is going to live in that SL list, right? So what I'm thinking is if I have an SL list with integers, when I create the SL list, I'm going to say integers will live here. If I have an SL list of strings, when I create the SL list, I'll say strings will live here. And because of this, we don't have to repeat any of our code, right? I don't have to like copy paste the class and change int to string. That's not a good practice. And but is this actually possible? So just to recap, here's this functionality I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning, what if I can create an SL list and I specify it's going to be containing integers. Or I create an SL list and I specify it's going to contain strings, okay? So this functionality would be really, really cool, but is it even possible? Well, since I've mentioned it so much, it is possible. All we have to do is use generics in Java, okay? I think generics are a bit confusing. So when we use a generic, we specify next to the class name in brackets the variable assigning to that generic, okay? So t is going to take on integer when we create this SL list, okay? T is going to take on string when we create this SL list, okay? You could think about t as a flexible variable that'll take on the type that's passed in, okay? So for S1, t is integer. For S2, t is string, okay? And another important thing to note here is that we can't have static anymore for the int node class. Recall, we could use static because we weren't accessing anything in the outer class. But now we want this t to be the items in our int node, right? So we do need to access something from the outer class, okay? So just to recap, when we use a generic, in our SL list, we want to specify the generic at the top of the file. T is a default generic often used, but you can put another variable here. You can put like, I don't know, bleep, something like that, okay? And when I create an SL list, T will be integer or T will be string. So that's kind of how generics work, okay? So one final rundown of generics is that we will use generics for project one. So when you have your .java files and you're trying to use generics, only specify them once at the top next to the class name, okay? The next thing about generics is we want to use the reference type, okay? When I create an SL list here, this must be an object, okay? So I can't pass in a double as the primitive here. So in Java, for every primitive, there's a corresponding reference type that's basically the exact same for this cause, okay? So we can't put double in here, just put an uppercase double and you're okay. Okay, so that's all on generics and that's all from me from this video series. I hope you all enjoyed it and have a good rest of your day. Off to you, Allison.